Hey guys, and welcome to today's Coffee in Christ. Hope you're doing well. I know that it is nice to be outside on this relatively cloudless, nice day here with this rather manly looking truck.
Road trip!
Yay, road trip. You know, I don't know about you, but I have been really quite bored. It's just that seems to be the whole pandemic idea. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a road trip, actually. You know, I started out going probably much like you guys. Hey, we can do this. In my head, I was singing just like on road trips that wonderful song. And I would walk 500 miles. You know, ready to go. Here we go. We can do this.
Now hold on a second. When you take a road trip, I'm talking like 9-10 hour trip. What do you listen to?
Well, there's a progression. The first song is, and I would walk 500 miles. And then about midway through, you need that burst. You know, you need that burst of energy, which I suspect many of you are kind of in the same general boat. You use a little bit of a burst of energy. You're kind of in the midst of everything. And that song is Living on a Prayer. You know, whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, you know, that kind of idea, right?
Yeah, I got you.
But then there's a third and final song. And that final song is with that last hour or so of the road trip. You know, the hard part. Because that last hour, I mean, I find it to be excruciating. You can almost see the end destination. And you're like, when am I finally going to get there? And that song goes a little bit like this. It's the final countdown. You know, it's that last little bit that is just really, really, quite frankly, excruciating to me.
Man.
In fact, quite frankly, I kind of think that's a little bit of where we're at now. For some of you, maybe you're in the midst of the darkness, if you will. You're kind of in the midst of the hard part, or you feel like you're right smack in the middle. But personally, for me, I feel like we're getting closer to the end, which leads me to that, oh my goodness, when are we finally going to be done with this kind of mentality that it's the final countdown, if you will. And, you know, our video today, our purpose, our hope, is to give you just a little bit of encouragement to try and make it over that hump. Just a little bit of encouragement to kind of keep the pedal to the metal, if you will, and make it through. Because I don't know about you, I started off what I thought was pretty decent. You know, before the pandemic hit, I had my workout routine going pretty well. Felt like I was in the groove. And now, in the back of my head, I just continually hear Pooh's voice saying, there's a rumbly in my tumbly, and the only thing that can fix it is a honey bun. Yeah, is a honey bun. So there's more of me to love now than there was just a little bit ago.
Oh.
You in the same boat?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pandemic pounds. That's what I'm talking. It's the pandemic pounds.
Yeah.
It's not ounces. There have been pandemic pounds being put on in this life right here.
Yeah, we had our first video was hashtag share the roll.
Yes.
Well, in this case, it is hashtag shed the rolls.
Shed the rolls.
Shed the rolls.
Yes.
They've got to come off.
That's right.
It's getting kind of ridiculous, quite frankly. But there's another song that kind of is in the back of my head throughout this whole process, and it's that wonderful Dory song. You know, you can just hear Dory's voice. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do we do?
You're in a singful mood today, aren't you?
It's that kind of day. It's
we're in
nice
the sun.
outside.
We're outdoors.
Why not? Why not? When life throws you lemons or a pandemic,
Sing a song.
Why not?
Okay.
But it's just the idea of just keep swimming. You know, just kind of keep on keeping on. Put one foot in front of the other, if you will. You know, we were talking about this right before this video, and the idea that Paul kind of alludes to this and expresses the idea of just kind of keeping on.
He does. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, there's a list of all of these like miniature pandemics that he goes through.
Yeah.
Sickness and shipwrecks and beatings and just one thing after the next. And then he gets close to the end of chapter 11 of 2 Corinthians, and he says, oh, by the way, I carry the weight of the whole church on my shoulders. And then he gets to chapter 12, and he talks about the thorn in the flesh. It just seems like one thing after the next. But Philippians chapter 3 tells us his attitude, and his attitude is,
keep going.
That's right, I keep going. I press on to the goal.
Yeah.
I just keep on going. And so it's this, I'm going to keep one foot in front of the other, just one step at a time. I can only do what I can do today, but I'm going to make movement in the positive direction, just one step at a time. And that's the encouragement that we hope that we're giving you today. Just take one more step.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. And you know, for some of you, you may be asking the question, all right, well, how exactly do I just keep swimming, if you will? You know, this feels like it's been going on forever. You know, we kind of got three ideas of how you might continue to do it. And the first is, quite frankly, to talk about it. I don't know about you, but there have been aspects of this thing that have been quite frustrating. And for some of us, for some of you, you may be experiencing some levels of anxiety, maybe some levels of depression, maybe just some levels of frustration.
Isolation.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Call somebody up. Don't just send them a text. Call somebody up. Use Zoom, use FaceTime, you know, whatever you need to use, and see somebody's face. Talk to them a minute and say, man, I got something going on, and I just need to express how I feel about this whole deal.
Yeah.
The second would be, you know, to establish some form of routine.
Yep.
Many of us, when this thing lifts, you're probably going to be going back to work, which means routine. So that, you know, whole going to bed at 2 a.m., waking up at 10, isn't going to fly no more.
Yeah, there's a difference between like school rhythm and
Yep.
summer vacation rhythm,
Definitely.
right? School rhythm, you're up at early, and you got to get to class. You're there in class. There's a set routine in place.
Sure.
But you get to summer vacation, man, sleeping until 10, 11, lunchtime, and then you're to bed at 1, 2 in the morning, and we can get into a lazier sort of stretched out rhythm. Not that we're not accomplishing some things, but we're not accomplishing near as much as we know that we could. So setting a rhythm, setting a schedule. For me personally, it's starting this thought of dietary stuff. Man, I need more.
You need to shed the rolls.
More carrots, more vegetables, less honey buns. It's just I've got to do that because I want my body to be in as good a shape and as energetic as possible, so that as we get into the place where we hit the finish line and we start that next place, that I'm in a good rhythm and good energy and have good purpose in my life every day.
Yeah. Now, there are some of you immortals, who have managed to keep a schedule, keep the pounds off, and I don't know how you have done it, but for those of us who are mere mortals, we can't quite relate. But if you are in that group, if you have been able to keep a routine, if you have been able to keep a workout schedule, kudos to you. Great job. Keep it going.
Press on.
Yeah, keep the pedal pressed to the metal. Keep going. Don't stop. You know, just keep swimming.
That's right.
And that's pretty much the message behind today.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep pressing on, just keep swimming. You know, don't give up. There's this feeling that we're getting closer and closer to maybe the end, or at least the end of this portion of this process. Maybe the lockdown being able to be lifted a little bit.
Yeah. It's
But
the
don't
road
stop.
trip.
Yeah, it's the road trip.
And we're in that last hour, we hope. We're just about ready to get to Grandma's house.
It's the final countdown.
Final countdown. Absolutely.
So don't stop. Keep going. Begin to establish that routine if you haven't already. Talk to somebody about it, but just keep swimming. Thanks you guys for tuning in. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and give you strength.